Something I've never really done on this channel is just show you the raw, unedited process of me designing something, and I want to show you that today. So with minimal jump cuts, you can follow along whilst I design a poster for Design Academy, which is our course website, all about how art is not enough. That's my prompt. I'm using Affinity Designer for all of my design work recently. I've really started to enjoy the whole ecosystem of Affinity. So if you want, you can ask some questions in the comment and I can answer them. But I'm going to create a new poster file. Here we go. We're going to go A3 pages. We do not need facing pages today. All right. It's basically InDesign. If anyone doesn't know, it just does the same thing. But we have these different personas, and it's not sponsored by them at all. So say what you will. Let's just get cracking. First of all, I kind of know what color I'm going for. We've got a brand color for Design Academy, which is kind of this beige. So I want to just get that down first of all. Like so. I think it's up here somewhere. There we go. That's a nice color. Okay, I've got my background. The first thing I want to try and work out is normally I would do a baseline grid, which just basically creates like a nice grid for a lot of text, but there's not a lot of text going on. So I'm going to just create some guides first of all, and we'll see how that goes. I think the margins are way too close there. Something like that would do good, but I'm just going to make these margins all the same. I think what we had before was actually pretty good. What was the dimensions there? We'll do, was it 7 and 10? Okay. That looks pretty good to me. I'm going to keep it like that. I'm just looking to see if there's a kind of a relationship between anything. My gutter values, they seem to be all right as well, to be fair. Could maybe decrease them slightly. We'll say 7 millimeters. I should be doing this in points, really. Okay. Okay, the first thing is get some text down. So I want something like art is not enough. And the reason why I'm sort of saying this within the poster is because a lot of the time in design, people think they're artists, and I don't necessarily think design is an art. However, when it comes to creating something for the sake of it, then that could be. So I'm trying to make an artistic-y or an arty, minimal, I don't know, new age poster. The font that I'm going to use, let's have a look. Should we use Comic Sans? That would be hilarious. I want a very edgy serif font, not one that I've created because they get kind of boring for me to use all the time. But I want this to be left justified. One that I've used recently would be nice. That looks cool. What if we were to make all of this capitalized? All caps. I kind of like the feeling of it. I might have a better one there somewhere. What about like... I like PF Marley Display. That's a nice one because it's very edgy. This looks kind of weird, but I like it so far. And I don't think it needs to cut here. It can cut out there because what I want to do is add sort of like a paint splash in here, but make it kind of tasteful as well. So what happens if I go into designer persona, which is basically just going into the design program without me to change anything. Stabilize, we want to kind of create, that looks cool. Let's choose this color here. This is going to be difficult without a graphics tablet on hand. That looks all right. We can mess around with this. I'm trying to create like a kind of splodge. That looks all right. Let's get it behind there, because what I think I'll do is I'll just allude to this. It doesn't need to be fully there. Let's come off, what's it called? There we go. I want the text to sort of be clipped inside. So if I just duplicate this, because I want to keep that, do that, then it'll be clipped inside. Yeah, that looks all right. Kind of want to move it though. So I'll move this, which is going to be called blob, and we'll move it around. It'll give it that nice artistic look as well. Actually, I'm not happy with that. This is one of those things where it's kind of trust that it will look nicer later. I've got to kind of imagine me cutting off certain parts of this. Get a nice blob. I like adding these sort of organic blob shapes, because if we're working within a grid and we're sticking to it, then it can get kind of boring just gridding everything up. There needs to be some sort of organic shape in there to change it a bit. So I'll duplicate that and I'll put that on. Oh, hello. That's better because you can see through it. You can see through that. I might smooth some stuff out later, but that looks pretty good so far. Let me just get rid of that and change it slightly again. I don't want it to be, I want it to kind of come, I don't want it to come off the page. Okay. Can you still read it just? That is the question. That makes it more artistic. There we go. Yeah, kind of. I need you to be able to read the is, but we'll keep it like that for now. The next thing I want to do is add some texture. A lot of people ask me where the textures come from that I use within my Instagram post. It literally comes from this image. I'll link it. It comes from Unsplash. Really easy. And all I do is I stick it on top like so. And we change the sort of blending settings within this. And I just mess around with it until it looks good. There we go, that looks cool. And that way we get, I don't know if you noticed, but we get such nice paper texture all the way through. I like it. And what we'll do is lock that. So that's quite artistic. I think I need to brand it Design Academy first of all. So let's get the grids back up. And Design Academy is really easy to do. Let's do this. All these favorites, that's cool. We don't want bold, we want medium. Okay, let's zoom out and get out of preview mode. It's way too big. It's way too big. Let's get that right down. And I feel like this blob needs some significant reworking or some change. So we'll put that behind. Yeah, it kind of looks cool. And a little trick for anyone that doesn't know what font size they should use, I just duplicate one of the fonts and you can just transform it if you want by like half. And if you're trying to create like a composition like this, I just go from medium, I just skip a weight all the way down. And if it's too big still, which I think that is, I just half it again and then kind of just choose the weight that works the best within the grid system that we've got going. When I'm looking at posters like this, that looks cool. There's nothing really leading the eye into it, which is a bit of a shame. So a way of doing that is to work out where the dead space is. And we have to make one of those big decisions like Bob Ross would say. Do you just add something up at the top there, or do we leave it? It's more of an instinctual thing. And because we're a bit more artistic with this one, because it's kind of a ironic poster, I think we should add some text here. And if I'm not sure what I'm going to write, I'll just do some filler text. Now, what I do with the filler text, I like to have like this type system. It works really well when you have one because it makes everything have a relationship and make sense mathematically, but also a lot of the time maths creates patterns that people can spot. So I'm going to work out the actual text size of this, which is 8.1 points. We will go down to 8.1 points here, and we'll just make sure it's the same, giving it that consistency. All right, let's zoom out and make some more decisions. That looks cool. I think what I'll do here, if I get the preview back on, get rid of, if it'll let me. It does this sometimes, I don't know why. Just let me select the piece of text, please. Okay, insert, filler text. Do it again. Okay, I want to make that a bit bold. How do we do that? I might have to just come back. I'm going to justify it to the right as well, I think. Might make it look a bit better. Okay, and what I think we need to do as well is up here in this quadrant, we need to have like kind of an image in there. So I'll just put my image placement there. We could also have like some more text down here. I'm just going to put this here as well. I want to, in fact, I'll do it in here. Just keep into that grid. You can kind of put text wherever you want as long as it makes sense. In fact, I reckon we could put in bigger text, like a big chunk of it, and justify it to the left. And that just gives sort of the boundary lines. Obviously it looks too similar to the top one, so we can half it roundabout. And that will do. Okay, let's try and find an eye. So I go to Unsplash to find these, but I guess we do have like a stock imagery here that we can use. I just want a standard eye. That one will work. Slide them in. Okay, I'm in like, if you don't know, I'm in Photo Persona, which is kind of like Photoshop, so all my tools have changed, which is the reason why I use this for posters. It just makes life so much easier. Let's do some weird effects. Let's create some texture on this. You can't just have an eye in there, but first, actually, let's get the priority straight. Does this look good, first of all, is the question. So let's get rid of the preview. There's a bit missing at the bottom. I feel like this shape should come further down and bring in more text here or something. And we could probably get that to align to the bottom too. So we go here, bottom align, boom, looks good. And with this, it means that it's just, no, that looks crazy. There's too much small text going on. Too much small text. but I do want to kind of balance it out. There has to be something down here to balance this out. So you could do this. Let's do Design Academy again. But not enough, could be a different size. Let us zoom out and have a look at this first of all. Okay, we're getting somewhere. It looks okay. Now everything that's on top of this paper background has to go behind it. And with this, I'm going to go to Photo Persona, which is going to start allowing me to create some cool edits on this. And in fact, I'm just going to select a lot of this work and just lock it right now. Oh, that doesn't lock it. That in Photo Persona, that gives you levels, which is not what you want. Let's lock them. Okay. Let's do some crazy effects. Do we do Gaussian blur? Nope. We could do a half-tone effect if I can find it. That would be really nice to have. Where's half-tone? Won't be in here, surely. Ah, it's there. Here we go. Well, that looks kind of cool. Do we make it fully half-toned? Like, just go to contrast to 100? I don't know. We have to zoom out of this. I think if we were to do that, we would then have to probably change the blur mode of this bad boy. No, of the whole thing. There we go. Kind of looks a bit creepy, like a cult. I kind of like that. Okay, we've got that. We can play around with the cell size, I think, later, but it's all editable from here. Oh, that looks so weird. I think we need to make the cell size more obvious. This is why I just like obsess over the smallest parts or something. I think it's missing like, I'm trying to follow the rule of thirds or the Fibonacci sequence because I think it looks cool and it makes it look more artistic just to have the grid on top. Because I feel like there's something missing from the overall look of this. And plus, I also feel like the eye is positioned wrong. I want the eye to kind of come down. And we can change all of this if we like. So as long as we keep this within the grid line, it should technically work. So I've got the main info there. It's just art is not enough. A bit of a fun poster. Now for this information up here, I'm gonna have to write something. It could be to do with Design Academy itself. It could be something completely unrelated or to do with why I feel like art is not enough. Too many designers, I think, believe that art is what they do. In reality, graphic design has a purpose. If you're creating posters like this and there's no reason behind it other than to look good or to express a message that isn't being commissioned maybe, I think that's where it sort of delves into artistic or artistry. But I don't think it's an art at all. I think it's all communication. Even here, you could argue that this is art because I'm expressing an idea and I'm illustrating it. But it's got a purpose. It's to promote my new course. I need to change this part of the design. This line here. Let's get rid of this. mask that we've got going on. And let's change this curve slightly. Can we sculpt this? I think we can. Sculpt. Let's do this so it comes like further down. Can we not? That's just cutting it out. That's not what I want. It's kind of what I want, but we'll do it again. We'll just keep repeating this. That looks quite cool though, I'll be honest. So far. Let's get this below. All this stuff. We want the ears and enough to be kind of seen. I think that kind of works. Get that on here. Can you read enough there? That's the question. Or is it too obvious? Okay, let's get rid of that. Let's try that one. Now that looks cool, but let's just move it slightly to the right. Maybe squidge it in a little bit. Because it's got a good composition there to allow it to be all the way through the paper. And I want the main message in there to be seen. But it's showing too much. It needs to be thinner. Hey. Now that's going to be a bit of a strange one, but we'll give it a go. That looks okay. Okay, we're going to skip forward because what I'm going to do is I'm going to steal this old one that I did because the shape works. I reckon this shape will be the best one. So we'll give this one a quick go. I think that kind of fits it really nicely. Last thing to really do is to really mock it up. Mocking up the poster will actually make sense. So we can see it. We can get the text in later. So yeah, let's export this. And yeah, I'm going to use Photoshop for this because a lot of the mockups that we use Photoshop. Okay, let's get this in. This is the cheapest way to get your poster to look cool, adding a mock-up. And I think that looks pretty cool. You can see the textures all the way throughout. Nice. It's different. I need to add some actual text into there. But the whole composition kind of makes sense. It's supposed to be kind of pretentious and artistic in a way, because I don't think design really has to be. But I don't know, what are your opinions? Do you think design and art are very closely linked? Are they separate but cousins, or is art design and design art? Let me know your thoughts. So this is a bit of a different video, but if you did enjoy it, then I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed for more. It tells YouTube that you enjoyed the video. And if you commented, liked and shared, that's just a bonus. Everyone gets to watch the video. If you'd like to see another raw process video like this, then let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one.